Today we're going to be talking about Unit 2, Lesson 3, and different shapes on pages 55 through 58. I drew a couple of different shapes. One, this is something we definitely know, is a rectangle. Rectangle has two equal sides and two equal sides. And no matter how it goes, which way it's set up, it's always going to be a rectangle as long as it has this side and this side the same, and this side and this side the same. A square has to have all four sides to be the same size. And I did my best to draw all my sides the same. And then over here we have parallelograms. And these are still considered parallelograms. But and this one is not a parallelogram because of the way it's shaped. Now to give you kind of an idea, these are still all quadrilaterals because quad means four. They all have four sides. Every single one of these has a four-sided figure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and even the non-parallelogram has 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're all considered quadrilaterals. And if you look at page 55, they kind of give you some different shapes and everything. Because there's a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with opposite sides that are parallel or with opposite sides that are same length. To kind of give you an idea. If we flip over to page 56 in your textbook, it says all these are rectangles, and rectangles are a special type of parallelograms, and their adjacent sides are perpendicular or with all four square corners. So each one of them has a square corner. So they are perpendicular, as we spoke of yesterday, and it doesn't matter which way, but that's how a rectangle is set up. They must have four right angles. And then it says down there, it says these figures are squares, and then you got some rhombuses. A rhombus, all a rhombus really is a turned square. So a diamond would be considered a rhombus. I am not the best drawer, so I'll do my best. And kind of like that. And it says a square is a rectangle with sides that are all the same length. And we spoke of that just a few minutes ago. And a rhombus is a parallelogram with sides that are all the same length. Again, a rhombus is just basically turned as like a diamond. And you can see some examples like that on page 56. Now I want you to go, we're going to skip page 57, but 58, we're going to look at those ones because it says use as many words below as possible to describe each figure. And the very first one they give us looks like a square. I'm sorry, a rectangle. Let's draw that rectangle as best as I can. And we're just going to kind of use our dots on the board here a little bit. And it says the four choices we have is a quadrilateral, parallelogram, a rectangle, or a square. Let's think about the first one. Does it qualify for four sides? Well, it has one here, two here, three here, four here. So it is a quadrilateral, and we're just going to put a quad down here. The next one is a parallelogram. Does it follow the rules of parallelogram? If you go back a couple pages, it says rectangles are a special kind of parallelogram. So yes, it would be a parallelogram. And we're just going to put para. The next choice we have is a rectangle. Remember, rectangles has two equal sides and two equal sides. So if these two are equal, then these two are equal, then it is a rectangle. Now, is it a square? Square says all four sides are equal in the same length. These are definitely not equal, so it will not be a square. So square would not be a... So the only one that's not in this one is a square. The next one is a funky drawing. Let's see if I can draw that one. Looks like it goes down. It goes way out here, comes all the way back, and then one long line. Close enough. And it says, first of all, how many sides does it have? Well, it has one, two, and that's the side right there, and that's the side. So 4 sides, 4 equals quad, so it is a quadrilateral. The next one says, is it a parallelogram? Well, that's not a parallelogram because of the way the design of the parallelogram it says. And again, you can always go back into your thing, and it says parallelograms, the way they're shaped back there. Then the next one says a rectangle. There's no equal sides in here. And the last one says square. Again, no equal sides. The only one we have in this one is a quad, or quadrilateral. The next one looks like a square. So we can do our best on this board. Alright, how many sides does it have? Again, it has 4, so it is a quad. And then how many is it a parallelogram? Well, it's kind of like a rectangle in a way, just kind of bunched up, so it is definitely a parallelogram. Is it a rectangle? All squares are rectangles because it has at least 2 the same size. These 2 are, and these 2 are. So it is a rectangle. And the square has all 4 sides the same, so it is a square. So remember one thing, all squares are rectangles and squares, but rectangle is not always a square. So always kind of remember that. If you see a square, you know it's going to be all 4 of these. If you see a rectangle, it's going to be missing the square. The last one, we can erase this one. You can always go back to the video and re-watch if you needed to. The last one is drawn like that. The first question is it a quadrilateral? How many sides does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it definitely is a quad. It's like a rectangle, but remember a rectangle is going to be straight up and down, not slanted. But since it is like that, it is a parallelogram. It's not a rectangle, and all sides are not equal, so it would not be a square. So that would kind of give you an idea of how you can kind of measure those up. We'll be doing page 59 in classroom, because we're going to be cutting that out a little bit, not in your textbook, but through another way. I have some things that we can use to try to get our cat drawn up there. And again, other activities we have in class, just to kind of reinforce all these. Now enjoy your night. No other homework. You've been flipped.